All right, hello. We have a new chapter of One Piece. Although I really don't have the time to make many manga videos these days, I am, as much as possible, going to try to stay up with One Piece because it's just so exciting right now. We are starting a new arc, one that has a whole lot of significance behind it, just with the appearance of Dr. Vegapunk, one of the most rumored and debated and influential characters in the story, dating back all the way to the Ainz Lobby arc. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. I had that like half sneeze feeling where he was cited as the reason that objects are able to eat devil fruits with Spandam's obnoxious elephant sword. He has been running the show for a lot of world government projects behind the scenes. He's the one that designed and built the pacifistas using Kuma. We assume that he's behind the new, even scarier pacifista, who are like child versions of Shichibukai. What else has he done? I don't know, man. The dude's smart. It's like he's living 100 years in the future. This island has likewise been called Future Island. Same with, it's called like Baltimore or something that Frankie went to train. Also an island described as in the future because of his influence. And here's how we know that this is indeed a new arc. Because it says adventure in the land of science. Every new arc always has an adventure in the land of blank right near the start to kind of, set the scene, get us going. Usually these are banger chapters too, because a whole lot is introduced and the very foundational threads of the arc start getting woven in. So let's check it out. First we have our title page arc. This looks like a place that was ravaged by another person, very important to the Dr. Vegapunk story, Caesar Clown, his former right-hand man, I'm pretty sure, who was captured by the government and for doing shady dealings with Doflamingo and Kaido and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. That feels like so long ago now. It really was so long ago now. But these same seeds are still growing and weaving into the latest plot lines. Okay. So Vegapunk showed up. Baltimore. Yes, I was close. Vegapunk is a babe. Giant robots with dreams. How many dozens of times bigger than the General Frankie is it? I wish Luffy and Chopper could see this. A babe. Vegapunk's a total vague. Everyone is freaking out. And by everyone, I mean the idiots. And then the reasonable people in the back are just like, oh my god, what is this nonsense? Don't you guys realize this is trouble? This is a man that works very closely with the government. Never heard that Dr. Vegapunk is a woman. Appearance doesn't add up based on Vegapunk's long history of activity. Very reasonable person. I'm obviously not the Stella. That's the main body. I am Punk 2, Vegapunk Lilith, the evil. My research budget is constantly stretched to the seams. Hand over your valuables. After that, I'm done with you. Scuba's not going to let me see it through and save us. I didn't save you. Okay. I'm not the Stella. That's the main body. I am Punk 02, Vegapunk Lilith, the evil. What? Is Vegapunk doing, like, a Bondrewd type thing? Where he has his consciousness distributed to a whole bunch of babes? Maybe not all babes, but, they might as well be babes if you're down to make babes. Okay, anyways. Seems to ensure they all get sucked. The Sea Beast weapons. So these are all... It's time the fears winning out. Frankie's still down to be like, damn, these are some big robots. But Usopp can't handle it. This is pretty cool, because throughout all of One Piece, there's been threats by giant sea beasts, right? Going back to chapter 1. And then we established the existence of sea kings, aka Neptunians, who are these very, very colossal sea beasts that populate the entire Calm Belt. And they're just like a reason, you can't go through the Calm Belt. It's a very convenient storytelling device. And then they elaborated on that further by having the ancient weapon Poseidon, would, aka Princess Shirahoshi, be able to command Sea Kings, right? And that was a very climactic moment. So it's kind of like now Sea Kings have such like plot significance, and also they've been around so long as the power levels kept scaling up, that they kind of don't seem like the threats they once were. Like, obviously, the Sunny isn't gonna nonchalantly waltz across the comm belt, firing off a billion barrels of cola just to get somewhere convenient. They can still use the Sea Kings as a very justifiable reason. Not that they have any reason to anyways, but whatever. But now it's kind of like, alright, you thought you were comfortable with big sea creatures, you thought you weren't ever going to see the Sunny get effed up by a giant sea creature. They're not that scary anymore. Couldn't Luffy just punch it really hard? Luffy punched Kaido really hard and that worked eventually. So it's like, they needed a way to up the ante on this sort of plot element. Or I guess they didn't need to, but it's cool that they did. That these robotic Sea Kings, the Sea King weapons, Zoro's looking at it, and Zoro's thinking like, Jesus, I don't know if I can just slice and dice this thing. I don't know if I can make sashimi out of this thing. This thing is huge and all metal. What do you think you're doing? Plundering again. Have you no scientist prides? Shaka is the do-gooder. I'm not going to surrender. That's the crew of the Straw Hat. The one who just got made Emperor of the Sea. Terrible mistake. Oh, okay, Zoro probably has decided. Yes, I can slice and dice these things. So, like, the different bodies of Vegapunk seem to all have different personalities that are in conflict with one another. It's unclear whether he did this out of, like, necessity. His genius mind is too powerful to contain in one body, to have one continuous consciousness. Or is it somehow to his benefit? Does this unlock his genius? And here I keep saying his, even though who the heck knows. Also, it seems weird, Vegapunk 2, the evil, Lilith, whatever. Why is she thinking exclusively, and I'm going to take their treasure, and not, I'm going to get their ransom, their wanted, their bounty money. Sorry, that took me a second to think of the words. There's billions and billions of bells and bounty on this boat. Nice alliteration. Why is she so fixated on treasure? She seems very childish, and here, look at the swordsman on board. With a bounty of 1.1 billion berries. The reason he's calmly hanging back and slaughter you in an instant from that range. That's the demon child behind him, Nico Robin. What about the sea beast weapons around them? Talkative jokers are just a distraction? No. They just love robots. Got some demands and you're going to listen. Got that? Ooh, man, Zoro's taking charge in a really cool way. That's fine. Bring them here. I happen to have an interest in that crew. Okay, so this is Punk 1. Shaka the Good. Okay, that was the one that was on the radio. But the main body is Stella. So that must be like Punk 0 or whatever. Okay. Luffy has infiltrated some area. Whoa, that's Kuma's daughter? Dang, Bonnie is Kuma's daughter from that kingdom where we've heard, he ruled like a tyrant, but everything we've learned about Kuma pacification, has not suggested that at all. It seems like he was actually like a wise king and ruler. Perhaps. I don't know. It's really hard to say. To die for his crimes. Okay, I feel like this whole situation is so complex. Literally no one knows what's going on. Robin probably knows a lot of stuff. Nami probably knows a lot of stuff. Frankie probably knows a lot of stuff. All about Vegapunk. Bonnie obviously knows a lot of stuff. Luffy knows nothing. It goes without saying. But like, I don't think any of them actually have an accurate picture of what the heck is going on here. Because I feel like Vegapunk has been involved on so many sides with so many shady dealings, so many betrayals and counter-betrayals. And in the end, I'm just kind of thinking from a narrative perspective, I don't think he's going to be just an irredeemable villain. I don't get the sense that he's going to be the villain of this arc. when he's been built up so much like this. Like, I think, I don't know, like, I in the end, I think he will be on the side of our good guys. Somehow. I don't know. I actually don't know. But I just get the sense that nobody knows anything. Whoa. Wow, this is awesome. Look at this. It kind of reminds me of Sabaody with all the bubbles and stuff. It also kind of reminds me of the recent Magic the Gathering. They make these like joke sets that aren't like canon, although now they are vintage legal and legacy legal. But the most recent one takes place in a carnival in outer space, and it has this sort of similar vibe, that kind of like retro futuristic, you know, your classic kind of moon colonies and spaceship rockets and stuff. There's like a big Famicom controller we can see here. All sorts of kind of like video gaming stuff, like that shifting tower. The way these trees look are very like video gamey. It's just sort of like taking the most imaginative view of the future from like the 80s and transplanting it here. In the background, yeah, the space monster and the giant robot looking to square off. I don't know if that's a hologram, if that's real. There's whales floating overhead. I don't even know, are they underwater right now? Is that also an illusion? I love the floor is like a grid. Perhaps everything's an illusion. They're in just like a gigantic holodeck type thing. It's very unclear like who lives here, what kind of society it is. We haven't seen anybody else. They're just kind of running right out into the middle. You would think there was some sort of like liveliness or something. I don't know. It's like so fascinating because it also does seem like it's set up like a society. Like we see places to live, what look like places to shop. I get the vibes of something being like a hotel. There's a gigantic neon Vegapunk sign on the side. What the heck? And Luffy runs off. He's gonna go on a ride. Alright, this all happened as quickly as you would assume it would, as it always does. Yeah, this brick building has big Mario vibes, right? There's even a question mark block. It's so funny, like, you see this sort of environment, and it feels so much like a video game, because it has all these sorts of elements. But then, in general, I think the best One Piece adventures in whatever land, during which Luffy's been eaten so many times in just those chapters. But they always have, like, this vibe of, like, kind of entering a new area in a video game. And your instinct is to kind of poke around and nose your way around, and to not go for, like, the end game content first, you know? Like, you want to 100% it, you know? This is at least how I play video games. But then Luffy, of course, just makes a beeline to whatever looks like the boss or the treasure or the goal of that area, and is like, well, I want to see this. He flies right through. It is, in fact, a hologram. All holograms, even Jewelry Bonnie the glutton. And Jinbei's just laughing. Jinbei gets it. No, Jinbei's shouting. I'm sorry, I got all mixed up. Jinbei's shouting at them. Chopper, as with everyone else, the sweets. Oh, and this thing, this friggin' space creature, it has like a banana. Is it related to the banana gators of Alabasta? That wouldn't make any sense. I really like its design, though, because it still has like the intimidation of like a normal dragon, like Kaido and what have you, but it's been ratcheted up in so many weird ways. It has stars all over its back. It has like Godzilla spikes. Its teeth are like huge and lopsided and haphazard. It's got these huge horns, 2 sets of eyes, including little nail eyes, and then this big banana. It's all holograms. All holograms. Did we die at some point? It's like immediately going into Gear 5 because the food's not real. Oh man, that's so good. Chopper's so pissed off too. They're all so pissed off. So yeah, okay, this makes sense. It's all a hologram. That's why the ground is like a holodeck style grid. Universal signification that you are going to see some holograms. I like this line too that Bonnie says, something like out of a kind of comic strip or a fantasy world. Just like the Germa. This is the sort of shenanigans the Germa, I think, do in their comic strip. But Vegapunk has the genius to make it real. No one could actually make such a thing. Everything here is lies. It seems cold here, and yet this is a tropical place. It is indeed a winter island. Thanks to the island AC I created, we control the temperature of the island itself. Hollows. So this is another Vegapunk body, it looks like. Referring to the island AC I created. The split hair kind of looks like Shanks' daughter in the new movie, One Piece Red. But I think that's just a coincidence. This giant robot girl, it has like Dr. Slump vibes. A lot of this stuff has Dr. Slump vibes. And we know that nobody loves Toriyama more than Oda. Nobody loves that sort of aspect of Toriyama too. The machinery designs and the near future super convenient stuff like capsule technology. Toriyama adores and has built so much of Dragon Ball. You know, it becomes less and less important, but so much of Dragon Ball was built around that kind of convenience and excitement and novelty. And I feel like Oda is excited to kind of take up the mantle here. He already did in like Skypiea, you know? Sometimes Oda has these opportunities to introduce a swath of technology for everyday life. And I feel like this will be another example of that kind of fun. So this one's real, as we probably expected. It says biggest Kaido. I like that he thinks it's a hologram. And his instinct is to punch it because he's so mad. He doesn't even care. Okay, he goes flying. He hits this machine. Ooh, which is like a replicator from Star Trek. Trek. Is it all vegan though? Because it says Vega Cola? No, I don't think so. But it's a good, you know, Frankie's into that too. You can touch. They're real. Steak, omelet rice, fried pork cutlet, cotton candy, cake, ramen, fried chicken, hot dog. So cool. The automated cooking machine. So it's not just spawning the food out of nowhere. It's actually cooking something and putting it all together. How fun! How fun! It actually has just like this full automated kitchen in the back. We're gonna make almond rice later tonight. I'm excited. How fun! The food material can provide 500 different meals to the user, each in a minute. The whip up leftovers mode is the best part. Aren't enough technicians to mass produce them though. It makes me so mad. Punch the hologram. Oh, probably because it's control the weather. Enough tech or funding. Okay, so this is Vegapunk's perspective. This shit's cool. I just want to make it for everybody. But I can't because there's not enough funding. Okay. Light pressure gloves, you can do more than just observe the light. When people can touch something, they'll believe it's real matter. Spawning another hologram really quickly. This one says P25. So there's like 25 punk bodies at least running around this island. This whole time, Luffy, of course, is still spamming the food buttons. Whether it's real or not, it's for you to decide. Ask me, those words are a relic of a bygone era. Genius. Dr. Vegapunk. Dr. Vegapunk Atlas. This is Punk 06. Okay, so again, not the main one, not Stella. This one called Atlas because it's huge, I guess. Huge and strong. I still don't have a good sense of how big it is. Someone said very helpfully, oh, it's as big as Kaido. But it's hard to imagine. But yeah, Bonnie recognizes immediately this is not the Vegapunk she knew. Things are getting crazy. Kobe said it. He remembers that Kobe said it. Okay. The explanation happens at last. He's such a genius, he doesn't have enough time to do anything. He's short-handed. Why not make more hands? He split himself into 6 different people. These 6 satellites are all Dr. Vegapunk together. If any of this not says I'm the crazy one. Greed is York. Violence is Atlas, which is why Atlas got so worked up about there needs to be more funding. Wisdom is Pythagoras. Very well done. Thinker is Edison. Great names. Evil is Lilith, who we saw earlier, of course. Shaka was the one over the phone. And then Stella, I guess, is the main body. That, who knows in what condition it exists anymore. Turn this giant brat to Egghead, then eliminate all the Vegapunks. Stussy's here as well. Make the most useful man in the world. Anything to do with what happened in Lucia the other day. Okay. So Lucci's having some doubts. We could maybe see Lucci change teams here. We also see another baby pacifista that's modeled after a young Shichibukai. That's definitely the pattern. Why they want to eliminate all the Vegapunks, who the heck knows? I'm most excited though. Kaku is here. I love Kaku. Kaku is one of my favorite characters in the whole series for some reason. I just think his design is really fun. He turns into a giraffe. The fact that there was all those jokes about, oh, he's like a monkey, he acts like a monkey, he runs around all the ships like a monkey, and then he's eating this banana devil fruit, and you're like, he's gonna get the monkey powers, and then he turns into a giraffe, is so funny. His fight with Zoro is one of my favorites. Overall, just a character I'm so excited has returned. Stussy being back too is crazy from her deep undercover role on Whole Cake Island. What else is gonna happen, man? So we kind of have a pretty... The pieces are coming together. Vegapunk is on this island doing God knows what. He's the most useful man in the world, coming up with all these futuristic technologies that are never really going to see the light of day because of all sorts of complications. There's 6 of them running around with their own personalities and goals and stuff. Bonnie is here for revenge, but she seems to be pretty reasonable about it. She says depending on his answer, he might have to die for his crimes. So she wants to hear him out. She wants to understand. Because it's hard to understand Vegapunk's allegiances and stuff in general. Then we got CP0 heading in to try to assassinate all of them. Obviously, they're going to butt heads with the Straw Hats, even if the Straw Hats are also anti-Vegapunk. The enemy of my enemy is not my friend in this case. CP0 is definitely going to try to take down the Straw Hats too. Lucci, I imagine, is a lot stronger, but this isn't, an earth-shattering antagonist like Kaido was. So I'm assuming this arc will be on the shorter side compared to Wano, of course. And honestly, I hope it doesn't get much more complex than that. I think this is already a really great cast of characters that I want to see a lot about. I want to learn a lot more about. There could be so much lore and exposition and stuff just with this current setup, just by having Vegapunk there, that I don't really think we need to have more stuff happening to make this significant. And I just really want to see the Straw Hats in action. I want to have a lot of really good Straw Hat adventures without it needing to be, 500 characters all swarming on the island. Yeah, so I think we have all the ingredients we need, but maybe there's going to be more ingredients than that. We don't know. Let's look forward to next week's chapter, and we'll find out. Bye-bye for now.